everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany. Thank you for joining me today. As you could probably tell by the title, I will be going over the applications that I use on a daily basis. So all of these I use on my personal use whenever I'm at home. I'm normally using these things. I'm also gonna talk about a couple of them that I've used in the past that I don't use as much anymore but are still very much important, and then I'll probably use again in the future. All right, so let's get started. So the first thing is the text editor. So I use Atom as my text editor. I used to have Sublime as well on my machine, but since I'm increasingly running out of space on my MacBook, I'm like, pick one. So I got rid of Sublime a while ago and I just use Atom. Although Atom has been giving me a little bit of trouble with just kind of freezing up, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I currently use Atom, and then like I said, sometimes I've used Sublime in the past as well. So Sublime is also another really good one. So as far as the web browser that I'm using, I use Chrome to test out things in my browser and make sure things are working. But it's very important that you have another browser that you also are using to like do other tests and things like that. You want to make sure that you know, when you're coding, you know, that you're testing things out in other browsers. So Internet Explorer is another one that's a really good one to have just for testing purposes, and then also Safari is another one that I use for testing as well. Firefox is another one. I don't currently have Firefox on my machine though, but yes, those three are pretty much the biggest ones that you want to make sure, or four if you include Chrome. So yeah, those four are like the biggest ones that you should probably be using to test across browsers to make sure everything is working great for your application. The next thing I use is my terminal. So I am a person that I love to use my terminal whenever possible. So I'm using Git through the terminal and just other commands. Sometimes you can, depending on what language you're in, like especially if you're doing SQL or maybe any kind of database like that, you want to be able to go into your command line and test things out at that level before you know, actually put it into your project or make it a part of your project. So I like to use the terminal for those sorts of things. And then I also do a lot of like, you know, like use Homebrew and to install things and things like that. So it makes installation for a lot of things very easy, especially a lot of things related to coding are very easy if you have like Homebrew set up. It's awesome. So this is one of the ones where I used to use a lot and I'm using increasingly less just because I'm really not using SQL anymore. I'm using like Postgres and mainly Postgres, and if I need to, maybe Mongo. So anyways, so MySQL Workbench. So this was a big one that I used, especially while I was at the dojo, and it was really good to go in there and test out your queries before you implemented them into your project. So MySQL Workbench is also another really good one, and yeah, it's very helpful as well if you want to test things out, or if you are a person that likes like the user interface of things, then that would be a good thing for you to have, because then you could, you know, you could have the application, you can click into it, and then you could physically see what's happening, and it won't be in your terminal, it would be just this application that you've downloaded. So whichever way that you prefer to see things. Here is a couple of the applications that I don't necessarily use anymore, but that I have used in the past and that I'll probably get back into using. So Postman is a big one. So it's basically it's primarily for the back end when you're testing out APIs and like post requests and patch requests and put requests, delete requests, those types of things. So when you're testing those out, Postman is a really good resource for you. So you basically just go in and then you can give it the URL. It's normally just like localhost if you're developing locally, and then you can do a sample put request or delete request or whatever it is, just to make sure things are working properly. So that's a really good one to have under your tool belt. And then the last one is MAAM. So I used to use MAAM a ton, and I would use it to start up a server primarily when I was using anything within the LAMP stack. So that would include PHP. So when I was trying to boot up a server for like CodeIgniter that I used to use, then I would primarily be using MAAM in order to do so. And so with that, it's pretty user friendly. You just go to their website, download it, and then pretty much get started right away. So it's one of those things where it's not a lot of setup required, but it's very beneficial to you in the end. And there's also WAMP if you're a Windows user as well, or if you are a Windows user and you want to use MAAM, you can also do that as well. So that's it. Those are the applications that I use in order to code every day. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, and I will see you guys in the next one, and I'll see you soon, and thank you for watching. Take care.